Hello friends, in this video we are going to discuss about time division multiplexing, which is a very important phenomenon of data communication systems. So multiplexing, yes, multiplexing itself is a very advantageous phenomena or efficient design of digital data transmission. So whenever I need to go for like channel efficiency, I will be opting for multiplexing schemes. When it comes to data communication networks and data communication of and digital telephony, satellite access, definitely I will be going for time division multiplexing. So we'll see what this time division multiplexing is all about in this particular video, and also we are going to discuss about how multiple users are going to access a single channel based upon time slots. So let us get into this video. So time division multiplexing is a time interleaving of samples from several sources so that the information from these sources can be transmitted over a single communication channel. See, our point is I have only one communication channel, but multiple users are there. How these users are going to access this entire channel uh, simultaneously? Okay, so as I told you, it is a time interleaving of samples. Okay, or otherwise I can say each user is given with a time slot. Okay, so what we are going to do at the transmitter side? Okay, so simultaneous transmission of several signals on a time sharing basis. Okay, for example, take we have three users, Ramesh, Suresh and Satish. Okay, so Ramesh uses the time slot 1 for sending his frame, and Suresh uses time slot 2 for sending his frame, and Satish uses time slot 3 for sending his frame. For example, this frame is considered as a parcel. Okay, so Suresh send his parcel by 10:1 to 10:5 slot, and Ramesh sends its parcel at 10:5 to 10:10 slot, and Satish sends his parcel by 10:10 to 10:15 slot. Okay, are you getting me? So all the three are trying to send the data simultaneously but using different time slots. Okay, so this is the phenomena of time division multiplexing. So each signal occupies its own distinct time slots using all frequencies for the duration of time of the transmission. The slot may be permanently assigned on demand. Okay, so there are two cases we can have. For example, I am designing my own dedicated time division multiplexing system, and I have fixed number of channels, means I can assign permanently the time slots to my varying channel requirements. If it is a time varying environment, or if it is a real time environment, I can go for a on demand TDM. Okay, or I can say the time slots are demanded or time slots are requested on demand. Okay, and at the receiver side what we are going to do? Okay, so at the sender side we are going to have a device called commutator that is going to take care of performing this time division multiplexing operation. At the receiver side we can have an device called a decommutator. It is merely a sampler, so it is going to be synchronized. Yes, ultimately time division multiplexing, it is working on the basic principle called synchronization of time slots. Okay, so sender side and the receiver side synchronization must achieved. So after that the frame like synchronized, and the demultiplexing operation is performed. Okay, so low pass filter is used at the receiver side, and ISI, yes, intersymbol interference is considered. If you are using poor channel filtering, then definitely ISI will arise. So these are few consideration when it comes to receiver end. So what I am going to do is feed through of one channel's signal into another channel. If I am going to use this again, definitely I am going to get crosstalk. So if you want to avoid crosstalk, definitely you have to go for God channels. Okay, so what is God channel? So between the time slot of Satish and Suresh, leave some time space, okay, for guarding or allowing Satish and Suresh to successfully send their data. Okay, it is something like this, taking a break. Okay, that is called the concept behind guard channel. Okay, so what are the applications of TDM? As I already told you, digital telephony is the one very important application of TDM. Without TDM there is no digital telephony, right, what we use in our day-to-day life. And data communications, yes, especially when it comes to networking applications, it uses time division multiplexing, satellite access and cellular radio. So these are the applications of time division multiplexing. So so next, this is the time division multiplexing phenomena. So you can see in the diagram, so multiplexer you can have n number of senders starting from 1, 2, 3, and you can have n number of senders. At the receiver side, yes, you can have n number of receiver channels. Okay, so all these individual sender channels are combined, or otherwise I can say all these users are multiplexed by the multiplexer. Okay, at the sender side. At the receiver side, it is obviously demultiplexed. You can see very importantly here the data flow. Okay, so you can have one is the frame sent by user 1, 2 is the frame sent by user 2, 3 is the frame sent by user 3, and n is the frame sent by user number n or sender number n. Okay, you can see here only one channel is used, but excuse me. So yes, you can see in this diagram, okay, only one channel is used, okay, but multiple senders are trying to access, or multiple senders can able to effectively send the data using the single transmission link. Okay, so this is the advantage of going for time division multiplexing. Okay, so usually which is used with digital signals or analog signals, and the data from various sources are carried in repetitive frames. Okay, so this repetitive frame is based upon the repetitive time slots. So each frame consists of a set of time slot, as I already discussed. So each source is assigned one or more time slots per frame. Okay, so this is the basic phenomena or basic methodology behind time division multiplexing. And let us discuss a channel. Okay, so or let us discuss a frame. Okay, so this is like a digital data frame for a voice communication. So here you can see, so this frame is nothing but a frame of a multiplexed PAM signal. Okay, and this frame is going to contain 4 voice channel, you can see. So let us assume something like this. Okay, so there are 4 parallel users are trying to talk. Okay, right? So at the sender side I have 4 users are trying to talk. So you can see here each user is assigned with a voice channel. Okay, so 4 user, so you have 4 voice channel, and this particular frame is going to carry synchronization pulse at the end. So you can see here the one sampling period is going to contain 125 milliseconds. So 0 to 25 millisecond is meant for voice channel 1, 25 to 50 is meant for voice channel 2, and voice channel 3 is 50 to 75, 75 to 100 is voice channel 4, and the last voice channel is kept for synchronization pulse. Okay, so this is the basic scenario of TDM. See, for example, if you increase the number of voice channels, or if you increase the number of users, I have 10 users, so let us assume we have 10 voice channel, and definitely the sampling duration is also going to increase. Okay, so I am giving 25 millisecond per user. I have 10 user, means it is going to be 25 into 10 plus 25 for synchronization, so that I can have 275 milliseconds of time slot. Okay, so this is the frame of your TDM. And next we'll see general scenario of time division multiplexing. So this is the general scenario. I have n users, and or otherwise I can say n user data source, and it is given to a multiplexer at the sender side, and the multiplexed output is sent through high speed data transmission channel or high speed transmission line. Okay, it can be a wired channel or it can be a wireless channel, depending upon the type of communication system I am talking about. Okay, I am dealing with. So at the receiver side I have the demultiplexer. Yes, so multiplexer and demultiplexer are actually running behind the synchronization pulse. Okay, so at the after demultiplexer, yes, these different data sources are retrieved back. Okay, so next what we are going to discuss is very important practically applicable PAM based TDM system. Okay, so PAM is nothing but pulse amplitude modulation. Okay, so pulse amplitude modulation based TDM system. So I have n user channel. Okay, so each user data or analogous data is converted into pulse amplitude or pulse modulated signals. Okay, so the pulse modulated signals is going to have time intervals between them. So based upon these time intervals, each user data is transmitted without having any overlaps. Okay, or without having any interference. Okay, so now in this diagram you can see message inputs I have at the sender side 1, 2 and n. After that I am going to have an anti-aliasing filter. It is going to avoid aliasing effects. Okay, So these anti-aliasing filter are nothing but a simple low pass filter. What it is going to do is it is going to allow the lower frequencies and it is going to filter the higher frequencies. Okay, because when I talk about the basic baseband signal, the baseband signals are lower frequency signals in nature. So then it is given to a arrangement called commutator. Commutator performs this multiplication operation. It is a rotating switch based upon the time slot and based upon the synchronization. It is going to choose one particular user signal input to pass through the channel. Okay, so after commutator I have a pulse modulator arrangement. It is going to perform pulse amplitude modulation and then the data is transmitted through the channel. Okay, so at the receiver side again demodulation is happened and decommutator is going to decommutate and choose the appropriate or retrieve the appropriate user channel. Again, both the sides, at the receiver side and also at the transmitter side, these arms of the commutator should be synchronized with a synchronization time slot. Okay, so you can see both pulse amplitude modulator at the sender side as well as at the receiver side are synchronized with the clock pulses. Okay, so this is the typical PAM based TDM system and we'll see the output, okay, how it is done. So now you just have a look at this. There are four signals, right, have been actually transmitted over a single channel in this system. You can see there is a signal called A, it is a sine wave continuous signal, and signal B which is a linear ramp. Okay, and signal C is again another continuous time varying signal, and there is a signal D. Okay, so you can see signal D. There are four signals are transmitted over a single channel, and see you can see in the second diagram. Okay, so the original signal is shown in the above diagram. In the below diagram you can see pulse amplitude modulated or equivalent signals are shown here. You can see A is pulse amplitude modulated and you can see C is pulse amplitude modulated. You can see B is pulse amplitude modulated and you can see here instead of sending the entire signal I can actually send the pulse and I can accommodate more signals over a single transmission channel. This is the advantage of going for PAM based TDM system. Okay, so this is the representation of PAM based TDM multiplexing scheme. Yes, and yes, again I think we have discussed this diagram already. Okay, so here you can see in this case, so I have n number of channels. Okay, so you can have, right, so you can see in this diagram, the below diagram, it is nothing but the frame structure of a TDM signal. So C1 and C2 are nothing but control signals and 1, 2, 3, 4 are nothing but data from different user. Okay, so this is the frame structure or frame diagram of your TDM signal, especially this is meant for PAM based TDM system. Okay, so now you can see, right, in this case, so this diagram is going to show, right, how data from different user is been taken or I should say multiplexed and sent over a single channel. So this is the way in which the data is transmitted. You can see in this case, so first pulse from user 1, second pulse from user 2, third pulse from user 3, but you can see continuously I am sending synchronization pulse also. Okay, so that the sender and the receiver can able to successfully retrieve the multiplexed signal and finally it can reconstruct the n channels of the user. Okay, so that's it friends. This is all about TDM system, time division multiplexing system. Okay, so time division multiplexing, in this video we have discussed what is multiplexing, what is time division multiplexing, and what is time slots, and what is the significance of TDM, and also we have discussed about PAM based TDM system, which is a very efficient way of representing time division multiplexing or a very efficient way of executing this particular scheme. Okay, so that's all friends, that's all about this TDM video. Yeah, thank you.